I vanish the day I uncover my wife's betrayal, leaving her to wrestle with the storm of regret alone. It wasn't until 5 years later that she finally tracked me down in a quiet, out-of-the-way town far from the life we once shared. Let me tell you my story. My name is Ryan, and I work as a mechanic, the sort of man who spends his days covered in grease, surrounded by the scent of oil and rubber. I first met Elena a decade ago at a local fair. She was volunteering at a charity booth, her energy radiant as she handed out flyers. Something about her drew me in, and we quickly started talking about our favorite foods, childhood memories, and dreams of seeing the world. Our first date was a simple picnic by the lake. We shared sandwiches and stories as the sun sank below the horizon. From that moment, everything felt effortless. 2 years later, we married in a small church ceremony, surrounded by friends and family who celebrated our union. For the next 8 years, life together was calm and comforting. We lived in a modest home on a quiet street, painted together during our first summer as newlyweds. Mornings meant coffee at the kitchen table, her reading the newspaper, me planning my day at the shop. Evenings were for walks around the neighborhood or cooking meals side by side, experimenting with new recipes. Our routines were simple yet meaningful. Saturday movie nights with popcorn, her leaving little notes in my lunchbox declaring her love. Sure, life had its trials, tight finances when work slowed, minor arguments over chores, but we always reconciled, ending with a hug and a promise to try harder. I trusted her implicitly. She was my partner, my confidant. Life wasn't perfect, but it was ours, and I felt genuinely happy. Then the subtle changes began, creeping in 6 months before my world fell apart. Elena started staying late at her job as a dental receptionist, claiming last-minute patients or paperwork delays. Her phone began spending more time tucked in her purse, and when it buzzed at dinner, she'd check it quickly, placing it face down. "Just a friend," she'd mutter if I looked. One night in bed, I reached to hold her, but she recoiled, citing the heat. I brushed it off as stress. Another time, a delicate necklace appeared around her neck. "A gift from a coworker," she said with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Small doubts accumulated like dust in a forgotten corner. The stronger perfume some days, her drifting attention during conversations, the tension behind her smiles. I convinced myself it was nothing, just the ups and downs of marriage. Yet a quiet unease settled in my chest. The truth hit like a lightning strike on a rainy afternoon. I came home early, thanks to a canceled appointment. The house was silent, but I heard voices from the bedroom. The door was ajar, and there she was, phone pressed to her ear, laughing softly. "I can't wait to see you again," she whispered intimately. My heart plummeted. I froze, listening as she arranged another rendezvous. After she hung up, I didn't confront her. I drove aimlessly for hours, my mind racing. That night, she acted normally, kissing me hello, asking about my day. I played along, my chest tight with anger and sorrow. Later, while she showered, I peeked at her phone, a line I had never crossed before. Messages from a man named Alex, her boss, filled with affection and detailed accounts of their months-long affair. Photos, too, vivid and undeniable. My stomach churned. I didn't explode in confrontation. Instead, I planned my exit. The next morning, after she left for work, I packed a bag, withdrew half our savings, and left behind my phone and wedding ring with a simple note, "I know. Don't try to find me." Then I disappeared. I crossed state lines, subtly altered my name for work, and built a new life in a small, remote town. I became a mechanic in a modest shop, living in a rented cabin nestled near the woods. The first year was agonizing. Nights were lonely, and my thoughts returned endlessly to her. Did she regret it? Was she truly sorry? Slowly, time dulled the raw edges. I made new friends, took up hiking to clear my mind, and even dated casually. 5 years passed, and I found a rhythm, a peace untainted by betrayal. Then one crisp autumn morning, as I wiped grease from my hands outside the garage, a familiar car rolled up. Elena stepped out, older, searching, eyes wide as they landed on me. Ryan, she whispered, tears glistening. I froze. She explained she'd hired a private investigator, her guilt driving her for years. The moment you disappeared, I realized what I lost, she said, voice trembling. She had ended the affair that day and spent years regretting her choices. Please, she pleaded, can we talk? We sat in a nearby diner. She poured out apologies, claiming the affair was a mistake born from feeling neglected. I love you still, she admitted. I listened, torn between the old pain and pity. You destroyed us, I said quietly. I've built a new life without you. She begged for a second chance, but I shook my head. It was too late. As she drove away, sobbing, I felt closure rather than triumph. Disappearing had taught me that some wounds heal only when distance separates the pieces. And some regrets, no matter how heartfelt, can't repair what's broken. Betrayal may find you, but your worth isn't measured by someone else's choices. Sometimes, walking away is the most powerful decision you can make.